just waiting for it to get started. So we get to do that while we wait, even though they, oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Hello, this is George.
And Bonnie.
And this is Adonai Sanctuary Truth Classroom. Today is October
28th.
28th
Wow.
already. My goodness.
Jeez, where's the time going?
Holy smokes. And we're going over chapter 24. That's the last chapter in Yehoshua. Stay with us. It's kind of interesting. Now in the middle and the end.
Mm-hmm.
I hope. My sweetie is going to start out by reading Yehoshua 24, 1 and 2.
Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem. He summoned his leaders, heads, judges, and officials of Israel, and they presented themselves before God. Joshua said to all the people of Israel, "This is what Adonai, the God of Israel, says. In antiquity, your ancestors lived on the other side of the Euphrates River. Tekrak, this father of Abraham and Nachor, and they served other gods."
Wait a minute. Are you sure it says that?
That's what it says.
Does it
Yeah.
say that in the beginning of the Hebrew great leader Abraham, that even he would have been taught or followed other gods? Now that's interesting. Is that telling us, now listen to this, people, is that telling us we all have a chance to move away from that made-up, imitational Catholic Messiah's name? If we allow Adonai to open our eyes to the truth? Sounds like Adonai is talking to our society today with the same warning about serving other false gods today. Actually, I wrote, wow, after that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. He's warning us today the same way he was warning, Abraham came and warned the children of Israel. He started them. And he did it as Adonai told him. Interesting. Never looked at it that way before. Did you, George?
No, man, this is it. Yeah.
Read 3, will you please, son?
"I took your ancestor Abraham from beyond the river, led him to the land of Canaan, increased his descendants, and gave him Isaac."
When you think about what she just read and what's in the scripture, is Adonai taking you through and to a promised land? And even opening your eyes to the Messiah? Wow. That's an interesting statement.
Uh-huh.
Now comes some history. My sweetie's going to read from 24:4 to 12, or through 12.
"I gave Isaac, Jacob, and Esau. To Esau I gave Mount Seir as his possession, but Jacob and his children went down into Egypt. I sent Moses and Aaron. I inflicted plagues on Egypt in accordance with what I did among them, and afterwards I brought you out. Yes, I brought your fathers out of Egypt. As you arrived at the sea, and the Egyptians were pursuing your ancestors with chariots and horsemen to the Sea of Suf. But when they cried out to Adonai, he put darkness between you and the Egyptians, overwhelmed them with the sea, and drowned them. Your eyes saw what I did in Egypt, and then you lived in the desert for a long time. I brought you into the land of the Amorites living beyond the Jordan. They fought against you, but I handed them over to you. You took possession of their land, and I destroyed them ahead of you. But Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, rose up and fought against Israel. He sent and summoned Bilam, the son of Bor, to put a curse on you. But I refused to listen to Bilam, and he actually blessed you. In this way I rescued you from him. Next you crossed the Jordan and came to Jericho. The men of Jericho fought against you, the Amorites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hittites, Gazites, whatever, Hivites, and Jebusites, and I handed them over to you. I sent the hornet ahead of you, driving them out from ahead of you. Driving out from ahead of you, the two kings of the Amorites. It wasn't by your sword or your bow.
If you stop and think about it, you have to actually go, when you read that and understand everything that Adonai has done, you have to go, wow, what a review.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of odd, because I usually don't go, wow, the first three times you read. What a review. The blessings you received were from Adonai. He keeps saying that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's name a couple more of these blessings. Read 13, please.
Then I gave you a land where you had not worked, and cities you had not built, and you lived there. You eat fruit from the vineyards and olive groves which you did not plant.
Land and cities you didn't work to build. Vineyards and olive groves they weren't yours. They were yours for the taking. Now comes the warning. Oh my goodness, he had to put a warning in there.
Of course.
Read 14, please.
Therefore, fear Adonai and serve him truly and sincerely. Put away the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt, and serve Adonai.
Now, you really got to listen to this. Fear Adonai. How often do you ever hear a priest say, fear Adonai?
Never.
Fear Adonai. Serve him truthfully. That's what my sweetie just read. And be sincere to him only. Now that is a big statement. Put away any falsehood. Serve Adonai only. Now that's a hard thing for people to do. In Yahushua's death speech, you might call it, he makes a wise statement that has become more of a catchphrase than truth. The start of 15 says a lot, but they usually go with the end of 15. Read 15, please, hon.
If it seems bad to you to serve Adonai, then choose today whom you are going to serve. Will it be the gods your ancestors served beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living? As for me and my household, we will serve Adonai.
See, that's the part that every priest brings up.
Yeah, that last
And it's the only part in this whole chapter, really, that they point to. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Because they imitate Adonai for Lord. But what she just read says, if you don't want to serve Adonai, you have these two options. Worship like your ancestors did, or like the ones in the place where you're living. When you go back to 24:2, my sweetie's going to read 24:2.
Joshua said to all the people, this is what Adonai, the God of Israel, says. In antiquity, your ancestors lived on the other side of the Euphrates River. Tekrak, the father of Abram and Nechor, they served other gods.
Yahshua is talking to whom when he says, this is what Adonai says to the children of Israel? By the God of Israel. In other words, Adonai.
Did you see?
Tom had his comment. What did Tom say?
He said he had to warn them. After all, the blessings he gave them. After all, the blessings he gave them, and they still turned away. Over and over.
That is an interesting statement. But like we've always talked We know everything that happened back then. We know what's going to happen in the future. We know what's happening right now. And how many people today, with all that information, turn to Adonai? Good statement, Tom. But it hits the nail on the head right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Dave. But in 24, 14, and 15, it seems that Yahushua was trying to get the people to understand not only Adonai's point, but his as well. Did you read 14 yet?
Yep.
Okay. The people state what they think is what they should say and what is right, which is, yeah, okay. Read 16 through 18, please.
The people answered, "Far be it from us that we should abandon Adonai to serve other gods, because it is Adonai, our God, who brought us and our fathers up out of the land of Egypt, from the land of slavery, and did those great signs before our eyes, and preserved us all along the way we traveled, and among all the peoples we passed through. And it was Adonai who drove out from ahead of us all the peoples, the Amorites living in the land. Therefore we too will serve Adonai, for he is our God."
Like in our society today, saying all the right stuff is good. I like our little next thing. The people talk is cheap. Tom wrote, they turn to what they think is Adonai, but they don't know
That's
Adonai.
right. That's right.
You're right.
So
Tom.
true.
They also knew what to say to make it, well, sound good, look good, and then they felt good. I wonder if the priests of today are doing the same thing, Jordan.
Amen.
They make it sound good, look good, feel good, without any truth.
Feel good religion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hope I didn't jump ahead because I don't remember what I had done. Okay, feel good. Until Yahushua, you might say, lays the law down. My sweetie's going to read 24:19.
Joshua said to the people, "You can't serve Adonai because he is a holy God, a jealous God, and will not forgive your crimes and sins."
In other words, it can't be just lip service. What's the thing Yahushua did straight? Trying to pinpoint. No falsehood, trying to be, no falsehood type of believing. Wow. No falsehood type of believing. And what do we have today? A conglomeration of falsehood type of believing. Yep. And Tom said, thought you were talking about the priest of today. Tom, you wrote that down before I made that comment.
Oh, my. He's read your notes again.
You need to put that whole verse into your study. That is interesting. Way back in Yahushua's day, and now I'm saying you need to put this into your study. Because it hits today just as bad as it did back then. You can't serve Adonai and keep going back to your same way you're living. We know we all sin. We know there is crime. But do you remember what Shemot or Exodus 20 verse 5 says? Read that, please.
"You are not to bow down to serve them, for I, Adonai your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sins of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me."
If you bow down, what she's saying, she's going to another verse, but I'm not reading anything, I'm just going by. She says, don't bow down to any other anything. Mm-hmm. And what do they have you do? have you bowed down to every one of their pretend leaders, pretend gods? Now my sweetie's going to read Leviticus 19:2.
Speak to the entire community of Israel. Tell them, you people are to be holy because I, Adonai, your God, am holy.
Isn't that what we've been trying to say for years?
Yep.
He has told us to speak to the people. And what 20 verse 5 says is what we've been trying to say. Don't bow down to anybody but Adonai. Now my sweetie's going to go to 20 verse 26. Leviticus 20 verse 26.
Rather, you people are to be holy for me because I, Adonai, am holy, and I have set you apart from the other peoples so that you can belong to me.
You are to be holy. Why? Why should we be holy? Because Adonai is holy. Then the ending of 26 is truly, truly interesting. Read the end of 26 again.
For I have set you apart from the other peoples so that you can belong to me.
That last part is saying, be holy so that you can belong to Adonai. That doesn't just talk about the Israelites or the Hebrews or the Jews. It's talking about people who study the scriptures. Be holy so that you can belong to Adonai. What a statement. Matter of fact, I wrote wow again.
Double wow.
Have you ever thought you belong to Adonai? Think about that. Have you ever thought that you belong to Adonai? Now wait a minute. It's going to get tough now. Have you ever thought you belong to Adonai? Not your wife, not your husband, not your children, no relative, no friend. If you belong to Adonai, the Lord God, what Adonai stands for, do all belong to him, and do you. That's a statement. Being good isn't serving Adonai. Because you have good for the world and good for Adonai. If you're good for the world, that doesn't mean you're good for Adonai. Adonai is not of the world. Joshua 24, verse 20. Read that, please.
If you abandon Adonai and serve foreign gods, he will turn, doing you harm and destroying you after he has done you good.
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh.
In other words,
Yeah.
don't abandon Adonai. If you do, Adonai will give you what you deserve. From 24, chapter 24, 21 through 24, it seems Joshua was saying, don't play games with Adonai. Oh my goodness. Don't play games with Adonai. Read 21 through 24, please.
But the people said to Joshua, no, but we will serve Adonai. Joshua said to the people, you are witnesses against yourself that you have chosen Adonai to serve him. They answered, we are witnesses. Now Joshua urged, put away the foreign gods you have among you and turn your hearts to Adonai, the God of Israel. The people answered Joshua, we will serve Adonai your God. We will pay attention to what he says.
They back then,
Okay.
and there's a huge amount of people, billions of people, who say they serve him here now. But when I read this, and Adonai had me put this down, I believe. Okay, but you are now witnesses against yourself. Get rid of all those foreign gods. Turn you and your heart to Adonai. We like how verse 24 ends. We will pay attention to Adonai. Is that what it says?
We will pay attention to what he says.
We will pay attention to Adonai. And the only thing I wrote a little comment after that one was when you read the history of the Hebrews and you see what's happening in the world today. I had to write this. 2 words. Y'all right. My sweetie's going to read 25 through 28.
So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day, laying down for them laws and rulings there in Shechem. Joshua wrote these words in the book of the Torah of God. Then he took a big stone and set it up there under the oak next to the sanctuary of Adonai. Joshua said to all the people, "See, this stone will be a witness against us, because it has heard all the words of Adonai which he said to us. Therefore it will be a witness against you, in case you deny your God." I'm going through 28, right?
Yes.
Then Joshua sent the people away, every man to his own inheritance.
Here is the marker. There will be a witness to you about what Adonai has said. Now it's up to you and your people. Adonai doesn't take much for granted, does he?
No.
Joshua is selling the truth. We're putting it out there. And if you don't want the truth, turn this off. But I'm telling you, you need truth. Not denominational philosophy or church doctrine or some brainwashing by a society or a religion. You need truth, and it comes from the Word. My sweetie's going to read 29 and 30.
After this, Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Adonai, died. He was 110 years old. They buried him on his property in Timnah-Sherach, which is in the hills of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaash.
At 110 years old, Yehoshua dies. So George, you still got 30 years. Buried on his own property, and the people of that day kept their word. Read 31, please.
Israel served Adonai throughout Joshua's lifetime and throughout the lifetimes of the leaders who outlived Joshua and had known all the deeds that Adonai had done on behalf of Israel.
Well, we got to remember, they had Joseph's, his bone. So go to Genesis 50, verse 25, or Bereshit. 50, verse 25.
Then Joseph took an oath from the sons of Israel. God will surely remember you, and you are to carry my bones up from here.
The Hebrews carried his bones all the way and all the time from Egypt for a time such as that. At the land Yaakov, or Jacob, bought for 100 pieces of silver. That is where Joseph is buried, and it's near Shechem. Yehoshua 24, 32 and 33 is the ending.
The bones of Joseph, which the people of Israel had brought up from Egypt, they buried in Shechem, in the parcel of ground that Jacob had bought from the sons of Haram, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of silver, and they became a possession of the descendants of Joseph. Finally, Eleazar, the son of Aaron, died, and they buried him on the hill belonging to Pinchan, his son, which had been given to him in the hills of Ephraim. Sorry about that.
Remember what she read in Genesis 50, 25 about Joseph's bone? Now the book of Yehoshua ends by telling us that happened. And what happened to the high priest Eleazar, Aaron's son, when he died? He was buried in the land belonging to his son Pinchas in the hills of Ephraim. And that is where chapter 24 ends. We've gone through the book of Jehoshua. What's the next book?
Judges.
I knew that. But
Judgment.
Judges.
that's where, well, no, we won't start
Shafted.
there. We're going to start there when we do kick back into gear. But I got a couple pieces of paper that, for some reason, are floating around my office, and I'm going to be reading those next week. George is already underlining stuff in Judges.
He saw something he liked.
Okay, here is something that I wrote this morning. Some people may not like it, but I don't write things because you might like it or not. That's a priest's job. We believe this part of Jehoshua is very clear and is pointed at the whole society of your world. The part that asks you, are you really taking Adonai serious? Or holding him as some good luck charm? While putting others, whom you really love, ahead of Adonai. Who should be first? Who should be your first main love? Oh, Adonai may get lip service, yes, and you may even pray to Adonai, but people stop and calculate who you love more than Adonai when you're in your easy life. When things are going great, when Adonai gets set on the bookshelf until he's needed, then you may take him down to help whoever is your real first love. That's sad. Not for me or for Adonai. No, it's sad for you because then you're of the worldly. With no joy. If your real first love, something goes wrong, then you're no better than the Hebrews back then, or when they were wandering. Like you're doing right now, you're still wandering in the desert without Adonai for life. Priorities are Adonai. They should be. They always should be. Adonai should be the priority. No family member, no priest, no leader is to be first. And people, remember that. That's all I have for tonight.
Wow. Wow.
She just said wow.
Wow.
George said wow after he heard her. But people, if Adonai, if you can't really sit down and say, no matter what, Adonai's first, then you're worshiping another person. If Adonai is not first, then you're worshiping, well, you could be worshiping your church, synagogue, denominational philosophy, church doctrine, or other people. If you lost Adonai, would you be as sad as losing the one you really love? Interesting statement. That takes a lot of thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have somebody else just clicked on.
Mm-hmm. Once you put Adonai first, everything else falls into place.
Yep. Amen.
Once you put Adonai first, everything else will fall into place. I hate to say this, but they should.
Mm-hmm.
It should. But just saying that and doing it is two different things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
As
lot
easy
of
as
people
sounds.
nowadays that listen to this program that Adonai has given us and has my brother George, the doctor over here, tells me that we should be out of here. There's no way we can say the things we say.
Right.
It's got to be Adonai
It keeps us on.
that keeps us on. Because I haven't ever heard anybody talk like we do about Adonai and the people who pretend like they're from Adonai.
Biblical truth.
People have to stop pretending. Just saying the name means nothing unless you really put him first. Everything else has got to be second. And those are cheap words unless you mean it and can prove it. And stop putting other things or people before Adonai. That's all I have.
That's all you have.
That's all there is. We'll see you next Tuesday. And I hope that you have a great week. Think about what's been said. If Adonai isn't first, if you have a family member, she's not first. Adonai's first. I'm not first to her. Adonai's first. None of our children are first. Nothing is first except Adonai. If anybody else is first, then you're not really worshiping Adonai. Have a great week. Think about what's been said. Concentrate on what Adonai wants you to know. And believe Adonai. Good night.